So let's take you back there now with the questions that are quite clear.
The extension of the expansion of the BRICS club. Do you trust some of those countries who have just joined the BRICS club? Do you think that some of them won't behave or act as molds of the colonial masters or even of the West?
Thank you very much, President.
Thanks very much. That met and said they are forming a coalition, and then you say there are 7 parties. Some of those parties, I was seeing them for the first time. I've been in the space for some time now, and I will know some of these parties. So I really don't know if there are parties like that. The IFP is already having problems about that, where certain leaders of the IFP distance themselves from that coalition. Then you remain with the DA and Action SA. And the DA and Action SA is Helen Zille and Mampela Rampela kiss. That's what they did. They made them kiss each other and then killed Mampela Rampel. And that's the same direction Mashaba is taking. You listen to Mashaba speaking, you'll think it's a man who has lost his mind. He doesn't even have a sense of what is really transpiring around him because he speaks against his own conscience. So those are Oppenheimer parties. Why must we say there is a merger between DA and Asian SA? Because they are Oppenheimer parties. The DA is given money by that lady of the Oppenheimer. Yeah. I'm forgetting her name. Mary or something. And then the male one gives the Action SA. So they all balance them like this. And that's what you have. There is no any coalition of anything. It's the Oppenheimers playing with the minds of our people. And we must not allow that. It must be exposed for what it is. It's a kiss between DA, Steenhuisen, and Herman Mashaba. They are kissing each other. The same way Helen Zille kissed Mampela Rampel. And then Mampela Rampela died from that poisonous kiss. With poisoned thin lips of Helen. Who said we don't have a problem, really? We never said we are forming a party to work with anyone. Once you form a party, you are on your own. Because we could have joined the DA. We could have joined the IFP or anything of that sort. To choose to form a party is because you looked around and do not found anything that represent what you stand for, and therefore chose to take your own path. This is a path chosen by us. It's not chosen by the coalition of the DA. It's not chosen by the ANC. We chose this. We chose to be on our own. That's why we are not called EFF Plus or EFF Edition. We are not anything of that sort. We are independent. We shall stand elections as an independent organization. We will win elections as an independent organization. We will lose elections as an independent organization and accept the outcome with honor and acceptance that says to our people, we understand your message and will do better next time. We have no problem at all. Pala Pala report, really, just one sentence. I don't know why they say Koleka, when they say public protector's office, they also mention Koleka Galeka. But when you talk about the Reserve Bank, you don't mention Lesotho Kganya. Everybody is consistent in saying Reserve Bank, but Lesotho is not being mentioned. It's Lesitja who's created this mess, who has converted the Reserve Bank into a protection of one man. Is Galeka because it's a woman? Her name can be called with loose like that. You can call an institution and even call her name. There's no problem there. But this side, it's a male. And because there is a male who's leading the Reserve Bank, we can't call his name. The Reserve Bank report that was advocated for by Lesitja Khanyao, it's a fallacy, and its intention is to undermine that institution and protect one individual. Lesitja Khanyao says there is no formal transaction. What is formal? Because Ntabanyoni produced a receipt. There is a receipt that there was a transaction. The president himself said it, that there was a transaction. You, journalists, went to interview a man who was wearing Gucci and all of that in Dubai, who said, I came to buy the buffaloes. 3. Lesitja Khanyao just decide in one day to destroy all of his good legacy in defense of one man. In defense of one man. They say there was no formal transaction. And then Kolega this side says, no, there was a formal transaction and all of that, everything is above board. Then the Reserve Bank says, no, these people are tax compliant, there is no problem, everything has been accounted for. What formality must we look for again? So Lesitja destroyed the image of that institution. Lesitja destroyed his legacy. Lesitja destroyed everything he stood for. It is Lesitja who is at the center of destroying the good image of the Reserve Bank. And he must be called by his name. Why are you scared of Lesitja? What is so special about Lesitja? It's him. For career opportunism. Because he hopes to be a finance minister one day. He hopes to travel the same path that Tito Mboweni traveled. He compromises the image, the good standing of the Reserve Bank. His name, Lesitja Khanyao, must go into history as a man who destroyed one of the good institutions of our country. And Reserve Bank. Lesitja's name is not being called. I've been observing this, that when it comes to the public protector, Koleka's name is called. When it comes to SARS, SARS has cleared, that Kisveter's name is not being called. When it comes to the Reserve Bank, Lesitja's name is not being called. Males are being treated differently from females-led institutions. We are not going to be part of that patriarchal arrangement. Count us out of that. My brother, the future in the EFF is not a position. Why, when you're being removed from a position, you say, I just said in the statement, they remain members of the EFF and continue to contribute. That's your future. That's my future. The future is not position. So we remove people from positions. You say, do they have future? What are you saying? We did not expel them. They are members of the EFF. In the EFF, we are not going to allow opportunism of the highest order. So please, you can be guaranteed, if they want to remain in the EFF, they are more. That's why we didn't take them to DC. The DC may well decide not to find them guilty. The DC might find them guilty and expel them or suspend them. And that will destroy their future in the EFF. In the protection of their future, we said, let's take a political decision, which is allowed by the constitution of the EFF, to recall. Because those positions they hold are the EFF positions. You are mandated by the EFF. At any time, the EFF can recall you, including me. So I don't understand what is this future. If the future is positions, then I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested. Well, and removing them from positions and having them remain in the organization is part of the rehabilitation. It's part of saying to them, you still need to learn more and have an appreciation. Maybe we prematurely promoted you into position of responsibility and you are not ready. Let's prepare you and then we'll consider you going forward. How can a man or a woman who couldn't get one bus disrupt my election campaign? One. How can that person disrupt the election campaign? He has demonstrated he's got no capacity to do anything. We are removing SG 210 public representatives.